23, Ox Road, heading south from Fairfax, Interstate 95. And I'm here to do my own style of vlogging, which I may or may not put on the internet. I've tried this a couple times before and been very much unsatisfied with the results. So we'll see how I do this time and whether or not I feel like releasing this to the public. I'm recording this on my Hero 5 session, so no telemetry available or any good stuff like that. I was a full throttle red line acceleration in first and second gear. I'm going 65 and being rapidly caught by a guy in a Nissan Murano. We'll see if he passes me here in a second. Yeah, here he comes. Over's not reckless, you know what I'm saying? Alright, we're about to make a right-hand turn here on the Hampton Road. The start of our little journey through Clifton. Let's see if this guy goes or not. Let's hope he does not. This is a nice banked turn, but right there on the right is a fire and police station, so it would be a good idea not to be too much of a hooligan around here. First section of this road's fairly straight with some wide sweeping turns and a lot of driveways, pull-offs, as you can see. If you're traveling at a high rate of speed, you know, you might find yourself being pulled out on. So while we go through this section, maybe I'll chat a little bit about why I'm making a video driving a car and talking. Like, what the hell, right? Well, the main reason I'm doing this now is because I have no motorcycle to ride. My R6 needs more oil in it, and the tires and the chain and just minor things, but if I don't do them and I just go riding around, it's going to cause me problems down the line. So on top of that, the R1200 GS is leaking from the front fork, or from the front shock, excuse me, the telelever shock. That seems to have emptied itself of oil at this point, and yeah, that bike's not in really a great position to be ridden hard or fast or anything like that. Look at this. We got someone just sitting here. And I'll get back to the task at hand. This is a long straight, as you can see. You can reach a pretty absurd speed on a motorcycle, and I would suggest against that. We're still in a neighborhood, you know. There's people here trying to fish. You're gonna scare away the fish. It's just not very cool. It's not cool. You're coming up to the actual fun part of the road here. This long left-hand sweeper. It barely tightens coming up over the crest here. It's really pretty out here today. Hopefully that shows up in the video. After you come around that right, you always see this guy. It's not a cop, it's just someone trying to sell their car. He's always there. When you're on a bike, stay left here. There's a bump on the right. So you can see it jostled the car pretty good. It'll do the same thing to your bike if you're on a sports bike. On this turn, the pavement's a little patchy on the right, but you can ride over it. Oh, I think that was a K-bike. Maybe. This third turn here is probably the most dangerous. You got a ridge here that blocks your visibility. it's the tightest of the three right-handers. So now the speed limit drops from 45 to 30, and you come up on a very tight right-hander here. Be a little careful your first time. There might be gravel or stuff in the middle of the road. And as you can see, it immediately makes a left and a right as soon as you come around the hard right bend there. So you need to keep yourself set up towards the middle of the road. This left-hander is usually pretty good, but sometimes it can be covered in debris, especially after it's rained. And finally, this is like my favorite turn here. It's like the opposite of that right-hander before, but it's going to the left, off camber over the crest of a hill, and then opens up quite nicely. Now you can again start going pretty quick here around this turn, but there's a nice big turnoff for Fountainhead Regional Park, and there's a decent chance someone's going to be coming out there in their car. You know, they might turn out in front of you. This section's great. It's in the shade, so it might be a little slick, but you can kind of keep the bike to one side of the lane there, switch over, stay to the middle, you know, cut this and make it a nice straight line. I just love switchbacks, going left to right, left to right. You do need to watch out here though, there are a good number of driveways. But again, you're just going left, right, left, right. Finally, you come around this right here and up over this crest to the left, and you need to be a bit careful. It can be a little covered in debris, this left-hander, and you have a big intersection here. Doesn't look like much, but for Clifton, there are a lot of houses down in that neighborhood, and there's a decent chance someone's going to be turning in or out of it. This left-hander is great. You can flick it, and then there's just this one driveway here to your right that you have to keep your eye on. I think that's scuba diving. I'm not really up on my flags. Whatever that guy is painted his mailbox. Must be nice not to have an HOA in a place like this. Anyway, this is a great turn. Start right, come left. Now stay left on a sports bike. There's a big bump here to the right that hopefully you saw. And then just come around all this nice and smooth. Again, left, right, left, right. This is a great little turn here. Fast right. Then leads into a slower left. And then a dangerous right, because there's usually debris in the road here. Today doesn't look so bad, but you do have to be careful there, especially after it's rained. Stay to one side of the lane and don't just assume you can cross over where you'd like to, because you might find a nasty surprise when you're nice and leaned over. So we reached the end of Hampton Road. We're going to make a left on the Henderson Road. Oh, did not mean to peel out like that. That was pretty aggressive. I think my tires are starting to wear out, so to speak. This is a great turn. A nice tight right and left. So, you know, it's on camber up the hill, then off camber down the hill. You just gotta love it. And then there's this long double apex right. It's nice and on camber. So you got the first apex and then it tightens up. Look like, you know, pretty good straight. And then we come up to an intersection, and you do have a lot of choices here. And today in particular, I'm going to be turning left because it is a Saturday. Now, during the week, you have to be careful. A lot of people people go this way. This is now a popular commuter route. This is Yates Ford Road, I believe. I'll take a look at the road sign and see if I'm right or wrong. Anyways, this is a nice hill. Get your bike, you know, straight up and down for the crest. Slow down, children at play. Yeah. Oh, this is Henderson still. Excuse me. You can take a left back at this stop sign to stay on Henderson. Yeah, here it's kind of all houses and stuff. You can go very quickly though if you'd like. Yep, there's a bicyclist. You might see those from time to time. Now we're coming up on a great right-hander here. It's blind, but very open. Just don't cut it too tight. You're all good. This is a great left as well. Right as you start turning in, you know, you got this little crest. Really not sure you want to crash on though. Any of these, you really don't want to crash here out in Clifton. Especially if you're running at a faster rate of speed than, say, your average bike rider would. We see a slow-moving car. That's a normal occurrence. As we come into one of the great turns in Clifton, a little 10-mile-an-hour right-hander. Take it nice and easy. You can go pretty quick through that turn, though, especially when you're going right and you're on the camber. This is a danger turn, I would consider. It's a longer, tightening right-hander, and there tends to be debris in the second part of the turn, so like right when you want to turn in, you might find a nice bit of gravel right there. And then going the other way, you come down this steep hill, and then you have that sharp left to contend with. It's not, you know, the most fun thing ever. You got a fast left here. It's nice. And then just like a long straight with a bunch of hills and driveways. Basically a place I would not go fast personally here. It's just not a smart idea. So now I have to wonder, while I'm cruising along, what am I going to do with the BMW? What am I going to do with the Honda? At this point, I mean, a used shock is $300 pretty much for shipping. And a new set of shocks from I can't remember the name. It starts with a W. They're based out of Germany. I don't know. Those are $1,600. Now we come here. If you're on a street bike, stay right, and you'll end up where I am. Stay right and then make a left at the stop sign. But I'm on an adventure bike tour, doing what I do on my GS, so I'm gonna turn left. Careful not to drive your bike on that crazy hill there. The camera probably doesn't relay how steep it is. This is a great section here. It just feels like a roller coaster. There's just all kinds of hills and elevation changes as you're going through the turns. As you can see, there is a lot of traffic on this road compared to, say, Hampton, where we were before, where I had clean running, so to speak. This is a commuter road. After we made that left, now we're on Yates Ford. But do is make a right up ahead. And hopefully nothing bad's gonna happen to my car. That's the hope. Ooh, there's an XR. Kinchlow. We're going to go down Kinchlow. Take it nice and slow. So on my GS, I'd be turning off traction control and standing up. This is a dangerous road to be on, though. As you can see, as you probably can't see, there are a lot of posted signs. And yeah, I'm going to want to say those are all related to hunting in deer with bow and arrow. And yeah, that is going to cause some problems if you're on a motorcycle. You're on this nice small road. As you can see, nice small road, no center line, not that much visibility, people all over the place. See, that's a pretty good shot. You got some guys out here doing their part to control the deer population, but unfortunately, when you start shooting a deer, they like to run away. And they might run away, you know, right in front of your car, which isn't great. And of course, I'm talking about bikes. They might run away in front of your motorcycle, which is even less great than they would in front of a car. That's a great turn. I love that. This is just, I love this road. As you can see, I was doing about 20, and that even was asking a little much. As we come onto the gravel, I'm trying to go about the same speed I go on my bike, and that's just impossible. The GS just soaks this up. So, and I think riding on roads like this is a good bit of the reason that my shock is worn, and you know, decided to leak the contents of itself all over my garage. We can't see it right now, but there's sections on these roads that are very wavy, like little mini whoops, I'm not really sure what they're called, but the up down, you know, sine wave looking sections of the road like that, it just bounds and rebounds the suspension, hit super fast onto these little bumps, and that causes the suspension to wear out more quickly. And they're all over the place in Loudoun County, where the roads aren't so good. This road was like that before too, but they regraded it, 6 months ago maybe, and now it is just excellent condition, and what I'm talking about doesn't really happen at all. Oh, that was it there. That's shaking. I believe stuff like that is what's wearing out my suspension, going over that type of terrain. Be careful when you come onto the road from the gravel. You might slip and slide more than you're expecting. And that guy in that Jeep is ahead is going crazy. Now come around here. Cop can post up over this crest, so be a little careful. I've seen it a couple times. There's like, see a little turn off here. I don't know if they're there, the clock speeders or not, but I've definitely seen them sitting there. Got some nice easy turns, you know, left. What the fuck? That guy got out of the way. That's not the kind of thing you expect around here. I really thought he was making a U-turn. Huh. Odd. This is a cool little section down to the right, up to the left. Just calling out what you're seeing in front of you. right on the Kinchlow Road, and you follow it as it goes from gravel, or from pavement to gravel back to pavement. Then you continue along. Good on that guy for giving me my right of way. Great turn up ahead, crest the hill, come downhill, and then there's a sharp left-hander, nice and off-camber downhill. Leads onto this little sweeping section of roadway. After this left, there is a little neighborhood, but it's no big deal. I always wanted to try riding on these power line areas, but I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be back there, so I don't do it. Now, this can have debris. You come up over the crest here in the middle of the turn, and there might be debris down here, or like standing water, so be careful. And at this point, the speed limit goes down to 25 because you're in Clifton, and there's speed bumps, and you're in the town, so be courteous. This is only like a 1 block, 2 block town, so you're not gonna have to suffer for very long. See, we've got 1 stop sign and then a set of train tracks. So if you listen to my directions before, making a right on Henderson and then a left at the stop sign, that stop sign's Clifton Road, and that's where we are now. Clifton Road. Well, I wouldn't say that. We're on Main Street, actually, but this is exactly where you'd be if you came down there on Clifton Road and then made a right at the stop sign. But if I'm being extremely confusing, SQ5. That's a good motorcycle place, so to speak. Always a few bikers there. At the Main Street Pub. So at this point, you can continue by going to the left and going down Compton Road, but in the interest of brevity, we're going to take, what is this road? We're going to take Newman Road, I believe, and then that connects to Fairfax Station Road. I don't know my road names. Got a nice Harley, some kind of Glide, right? Something Glide. I don't know my Harleys. This is a great little road. Now you're kind of come up on a little left-right section here. You're gonna be tempted to go fast, especially with this new pavement here, but it's blind, narrow road. It's really on you. Newman Road, I was right. I was right. So we're finally coming up on a bit of slow-paced traffic. Unfortunately, going a different way. Now, if you want to head straight back, you turn to the right, but I want to make this a little longer. So I head to the left, continue along Newman Road. I like going this way, especially with the new pavement. It's not very bumpy, there's not many potholes or anything like that. it's just beautiful back here. It's just a nice cruise. No reason to rush yourself on a road without a center line, but it is fairly wide. There's not typically a ton of traffic, but you know, you're back out here in the woods. There could be deer, other animals back here really waiting to jump out in front of you. I'm starting to run out of things to say. I made my journey a little too long, perhaps. But this is just a nice road, you know. You want to sit back and relax and just kind of take in the fact that you have some area like this out in the suburbs, in between all of the, you know, subdivisions and developments. I mean, over to my left there, and you can't see it on the camera, but you know, there's a farm with cows and stuff. And then you just got nice turns like this right-hander here. Just keep it to the right, you know. There's no driveways or anything here coming the other way. When we come up to the end of Newman, we're gonna turn right on the Colchester Road. Got a nice speeding additional $200 fine sign. I believe that's here because this is a commuter road. Another one, but you typically don't see too many cars right here. This is a great turn. You know, keep it right and turn it in. You know, you can have pretty high speed. There's no driveways, really. You know, good visibility. It's one of the best turns in Clifton right there. Lovely. You got a nice straightaway. Big open road, you know. You don't see that a whole lot. But this is a very blind hill, so it always is good to be careful. Then we come up on the Fairfax Station Road, which is like my favorite road in Clifton. Immediately you come up on this left-hander here. Just crests right in the middle of the turn. It's just lovely. As you come out of it, you can accelerate pretty darn hard, carry some speed here, and then maybe back off just a little bit because this is a blind intersection. You know, you never know if someone's gonna be turning from the other direction or coming out of one of those neighborhoods. This turn's blind, but it's pretty nice. You can just kind of flick it in. Use, you know, all the road. You can flick this in. There's no driveways, no nothing here. Pretty good visibility. But it's dangerous. If you come off here, a lot of people haven't fared so well going off the road on this road. So be careful. Don't go too fast on that straight. Come up here. Use the hill to slow you down a little. You can brake a little later. It's a nice left, off-camera left there, and then you got a really on-camera right. Really dips in, then crests the hill, and then dips in again with the camber. He's got a nice little sweeping left, like normal turn, and a little mini straight here, leading into kind of the final couple turns of this section. It's a short little section of road, but it is a lot of fun. If you manage to find your way here from the starting point, Doing good. Thank you for watching this video. If I release it, right? I just don't know what I should do. I'm gonna have to make it and watch it and see how much I feel embarrassed. I kind of like this route because it's not too long. I won't say the exact length, but maybe 30 to 45 minutes, depending on how much traffic you get stuck behind. You know, you got a little bit of that gravel, rough road, mixed in with some nice sweeping sections and a few more technical turns. Good scenery, you know, just a good place to kind of cruise. Or maybe go a little bit faster, but if you're trying to race around here, go super quick, I don't know. Especially on a motorcycle, but even in a car, it's just not safe. I mean, if you look around, there are so many driveways and turn-ins and turn-outs. There's so much woods, so much blind everything. So much. You come into a town, like, look at this guy just instantly backs out on me. If you were on a motorcycle, if I was on a motorcycle, I wonder, would he have seen me? You know? Or would I have had to have come to a complete stop there? And if I was going too fast, you know, it could have been very bad. This right to left is pretty good. Watch for police, watch for activity in that church. You saw my Labor Day Brappin' video, if you saw that. There was police directing traffic right through that turn. And now we come back on the Ox Road where we started. Except this time we're a few miles, I don't know how many, maybe 8 miles down the road, up north. So what we did was start south on Hampton Road and then head north through Clifton and end up on Fairfax Station Road. And now I'm heading back to my residence, full throttle acceleration. Didn't even catch me up to the cars. And I have one more little turn to show off. I'll probably cut to it. Or not, I don't know. Igor. That's what the Ford Explorer says. Interesting. So I just don't know what to do. Whoa. That guy decided at the very last second to change lanes. This does not make a whole lot of power, as you might be able to tell. It just sort of gets going in its own pace. Still fast enough to just pass most of the people on the road, though, at the way they drive. So coming down 123 south here, you come up on 286 south, Fairfax County Parkway. And that is the last stop on our journey. So hope to yourself you get something just like this. Stuck in the left turn lane, come up here, stay in the middle of the road, pull up to the line and try and trigger the light. You probably will if you're on a heavier bike, like a leader bike or a touring bike, adventure bike, that kind of thing. If you're on a lighter bike, good luck. I hope you trigger the light. This is just a fun turn. You come around to the left, then you come around to the right, it's even faster, and then you come out onto the parkway. Now the issue is there might be police, but you'll probably be okay. Don't put my name on that. Fairfax Station Moto did not tell you would probably be okay. But if you're 70 or below, it's not reckless. I'm maybe sure. So good luck. Have fun. One thing to note, especially if it has been raining, is that there was a lot of paint here as you first make your left. Come over the crosswalk. Come over the other crosswalk, and now you're good to go. Really, just full throttle all the way. Full throttle. Let off here. Tires not exactly confidence inspiring on this car. Keep it down at a low reckless clip rather than having to lift in the middle of the turn, which would just be disastrous potentially. And that's the end of this video. I don't like filming past this point, and I'll see you guys later.